Hello, hello, and welcome back to Reconcilable Differences. I am one of your hosts, Deshaun, and my lovely wife, Kim. Guys, we have something exciting to share with you. We have our first sponsor, Legal Connections Group, by way of Gloria Tisdale. And we'll put more information about Legal Connections Group on our profile, so that way you guys can, stay linked in. If there's anything that you have, any questions or any situations you have going on, you can maybe get some advice and move forward with that company. So with that being said, we got a new look in the studio right now, just switch
Thanks
things
to the Epic and Grand Prairie, they have remodeled.
They have remodeled. And so, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's not a big deal. But with that being said, let's get into today's topic of FTK.
F them kids.
F them kids.
Not really, but yeah, kind of, pretty much. When do parents decide that it's time for your kids to fly the nest and get gone?
Get out the house.
I would say probably now, just from the standpoint of, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be. I think I'm programmed to feel like, okay, you're 18, you need to start making some moves. But I'm also very much aware that at 21, 22 years old, well, even past 18, 21, 22 years old, you don't know know the things you need to know.
This world will eat you up alive if you don't have the right type of support around you. You know what I mean? And there's just a lot of things to get into. For our situation, I believe that our daughter would be okay moving out.
She already told us she's not moving until she's at least 25.
I would like that. I would like for her to get all of her money situations together, figure out what direction she wants to go with in regards to a career, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's stifling a little bit for young adults to not have, I don't know, I think generationally, I don't know, what are they? Why? The new age, I don't know what letter they are.
I don't even.
But I feel like they just have a different mindset of, okay, I'm cool to be at home, but it's also not forcing them to be prepared for life. Like when we were that age, it was like we knew we had to just make stuff happen.
Yeah, I jumped up off the block when I was like 17. I'm like, okay, let me get out of here. But I mean, even now, it's like
we was also having babies and shit.
Yeah,
it made a difference. But even outside of becoming young parents, I just think that generationally, the new age kids are finding too much comfort in just staying at home.
I would have joined the military if I'd have known all of the benefits that, you know what I mean, it would, show after, you know what I mean?
I'm a little
and
torn on the whole
that you meet
thing.
And, you know what I'm saying, some of the relationships that you can build. Plus, don't get me wrong, I feel like a lot of parents make those decisions based off the merits of their kids. You got a hard-headed little child. Get your ass out at 18.
Oh, okay. So
he's giving me so many problems that I'm ready for them to go.
You mean make decisions like putting their kid out?
Yeah. Putting them out, or just, hey, because I believe right now, our daughter, if she wanted to leave, I'd be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, just wait, and we'll figure that part out. We'll help you with that part.
I think we're maybe even a little like, I don't know if it's that we feel like she couldn't be, self-sufficient, or if it's just that we were.
I've seen kids have to move out of the house and don't even know how they gonna move their shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, figure it out, but you just to make me, I'm leaving, but you can't even figure out how you're gonna move your stuff. You're not ready.
Yeah,
you're not ready. And so I mean, I feel like it just depends on the kids too. If the kids is a sweet kid, they handle their business, they're working.
But do you feel like we've made it too comfortable for her?
No, other than, what do we do for Michaela?
Everything.
No, we don't.
What does
she's pretty sufficient?
A better question is, what does she do for herself?
She does a lot for herself.
Like,
we help her with her bills. Some of the bills.
That's the main part of.
That's no, because I believe she
asked me the other day.
There been a significant change in her behavior with money and everything else over the last 3 years.
What do you mean?
As far as debt control.
No.
Paying for little things, having money left over or whatever. I feel like she's been able to enjoy herself a little bit more, and she's slowly gaining a little bit of stabilization with her funds.
That's been only like over the last 3 months.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. But you got to work towards that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. She just asked me the other day, when are we going to do my taxes? Like.
That's the stuff you help your kids with. She's
But I've been helping.
one.
But I've been helping her with that. That's my point, though. We've done it together for several years. So when are you gonna be like, okay, I know how to do my tax?
When she understands,
Only logging into an online system, and I'm just saying yes, put that there.
when she
Yep,
understands
that's-
fully, she'll go and handle that. But right now, I feel like she is still using us as a safety net to say, okay, let me make sure I'm doing, for her to even bring up her taxes instead of
She's just looking for her refund.
okay, but she's paying attention to
It's not like, oh, I'm trying to be a responsible tax-paying adult.
So you don't think
She's like
paying attention to how this process is working? She just wants to be guided through that, as opposed to if she was by herself and it's like, we're going to take a whole side step, go figure it out. And then somebody's basically, pulling the wool over her eyes and doing all her stuff wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
Why'd you do this? Why'd you do it? And then that's, with the concerned parents that we are, that would be the main, why'd you do that? Especially you. Why did you do, girl? Da, da, da. And you know what I mean? So yeah, let me call. That's probably why she asked you. Let me call up because I don't want to hear it later.
Well, okay. I'll give you a little bit of that.
Ring blinging too. I just want to say that it's ring blinging.
I think I've contributed a lot to her maybe leaning on us, what I feel like maybe too much now.
Even just looking at the way that she did her school this last semester or whatever, she didn't. She may have asked a few questions as far as what does this mean or whatever, but she initiated all of that herself. She's going to school. She's doing her classes. She's done better than she did when she was a little younger. And so just the mindset that, okay, I'm ready to be it, and I'm moving towards being a young adult and taking care of my business.
But did she do better because I threatened her? With kicking
her ass out the house. Yeah.
So if you don't pass these classes because you made these decisions, you made these life choices that you wanted to leave the university and come home, and I'm just going to do classes online and start getting bills, and I wanted a car payment instead of the free car that Uncle Larry was going to give you. And like, okay, but you're making these decisions and then you're going to have to live with the consequences of them. I'm okay with her being home and making baby steps as long as you're making some moves, but she was becoming stagnant. And so threatening.
I think that's what's important is don't be stagnant. I think it's almost like where, even though it's your kid, you start treating them like a friend that you're trying to help out. And okay, how long you going to be here? What's your plan? Sure, you can come stay. And then after you see things ain't really going right, it's like, bro, you got to go. Have you ever had a roommate where it's like, you ain't paying your part of the rent. You ain't doing this, or, yeah, we going to have to move around. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do something different. I'm surprised that she hasn't brought it because all of her cousins have places. But I'm surprised it hasn't been like this roommate type of deal, like where, hey, let's do it together. Let's get a spot.
Because she sees it's a struggle. So I commend her for being smart enough to be like, I'm going to stay at home as long as I can. And I'm okay with her staying that way. I'm okay with her staying home as long as you are making moves for when the day. Hell, anything could happen with us. Could you sustain yourself? If we decided we're gonna pick up and move across the country and we don't want to have to worry about this house or whatever, could you function on your own? And as long as you're making moves towards that, then I'm not in a hurry for her to move out or do anything. But my brother did tell me that he thinks we should start making her pay bills. Just because, well, you've grown, you can't live anywhere for free. I don't know.
I mean, but that's the thing too. I think in that manner we're helping her with her debt a little bit. It's just like, don't worry about pay your debt, pay the little things that you have.
Yeah.
And because we handle our bills.
Well, guys, what do you guys think? If you have adult children still living at home, do you make them pay bills? And did you put time frames on how long they can stay home? I mean, I think we're just kind of working our way through it, and she's not a problem to be at home. I just don't want her to become dependent.
And if she's listening, which she probably will, you're doing a wonderful job, baby.
Like, one, you're not supposed to say her name. Two, she's definitely not listening.
This is a general conversation that a lot of couples probably ask themselves, and I feel like there's a double standard. I feel like guys are usually kicked out of the house first. Like, get your ass out, go be a man, go do this or that. But then those are also the ones that kind of bump their head.
Okay, so a friend pointed out to me when I was talking about, okay, I think we need to put her on a time frame. She needs to go spread her wings. We're going to kind of push her to start, even if it's roommating. But then she was like, well, what are you she was like, look at the economic state of the world. why are you going to push her to hurry up and go get an apartment that she can probably barely afford, if at all?
Yeah.
Fuck up her credit for her to have to come back.
Well, but I wonder what the statistic is for how life goes after a male kid is kicked out at 18 versus a female, and how things work.
If we had a son, well, I don't know. When we're preparing our daughters for life, we're like, okay, get you a job, make sure you can sustain your apartment and job and car and all this stuff. Where it sounds like you're saying boys get out and worried about some women and chasing some tail. That's where
a lot of that is exactly true. That's what I'm saying though, and
so I don't feel sorry for that.
Well, why not?
Because
what?
Somebody was probably telling you the same thing. Okay, you need to make sure you got a job and a car and all this. And
I'll tell you what the problem is. It's a discipline issue, but guys also have whatever milliliters of damn testosterone running through their veins too. But at the same time, I understand it's just self-control, discipline, and managing your time, taking care of business, and eventually, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit off subject, but I just feel like
you did go around.
I know. I just feel like
wait, baby.
I just feel like there's a double standard between the female. I would myself, I would say, okay, son, go ahead and get out the house. Like, we'll help you with that. We're still going to support you, but the amount of support that the boy would get would be a little different than the female. I think I would worry a little bit more about the female as well. You know what I mean? As far as, hey, what if she gets pregnant? Okay, now we got, you know what I mean?
So it's really a you issue. So you're sexist.
No, I'm not a sexist.
You are treating boys worse than girls.
I worry. And I'm not treating it. I wouldn't treat a guy bad, but I'm just saying, like,
well, I'm going to treat him equal.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
I'm equal opportunist.
I'm always worried about her. She can go around the corner and I'm be like, did you make it? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I worry about it.
Let's pivot a little bit. So let's say, okay, Michaela's out of the house. How do you feel like, and we experienced it a little bit when she went off to college for that year. Do you feel, but I think we didn't feel it as much because we were both working so much. Do you feel like the household dynamic changed a lot while she was gone?
Yeah, I feel like in a marriage, that's when you really, really know if you belong together. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have that connection all the time. Since you've been together, you're like, okay, it's me, you, and now we got kids, right? And we've raised this kid however long. Now that kid and what we've been worried about for 18, 20, however many years is gone. And
it's just
during that time, we've had differences. We both grown. Our interests have changed.
Yeah.
And now it's me and you in here. And we struggled a little bit, I think, where I was like, I'm not washing the dishes. Your turn. You know what I mean? Things like that where you would take for granted, be like, damn, now somebody got to wash these dishes. You know what I'm saying? Small things where it's like, whoa.
Not that she was Cinderella, but that was her contribution to the house.
Yeah, she had a few chores. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I was like, damn, okay. It's an extra day. Somebody got to cook. You know, if she would go in there and cook up something every once in a while. But at the same time, I feel like that's when it's really, really challenging for marriages because now it's a one-on-one. Now, it could be great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We had a great time while she was gone. But we
started to date more.
Yeah. Yeah. We started doing things a lot more.
It forced us to prioritize each other.
Yeah. More. But a marriage that was probably struggle without that buffer of the kid being there and daily responsibilities. Now there's no kid. There's no practice. There's no this or that. Now it's one-on-one with the wife. The wife want to do stuff. I got to cater to her. I'm going to rub on her back. I'm going to do this. It's always something. And so it's like creating that new dynamic like when you first initially met each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like you kind of regenerate the relationship a little bit.
I think we did. I think it definitely was kind of a reset for us.
And I was on an off schedule.
Yeah.
So we and you never saw each other.
Yeah.
And so that was challenging. We would see each other on the weekends. I want to spend this time with my wife. I want to do these things with her. So let's create that. And while we have the time, let's do it. As opposed to I have to drive all the way to Austin to see the kid and handle all this stuff. Now it's more of our time.
So guys, how did you handle empty nesting, or when you became empty nesters? Did it push your relationship to have the flexibility to date more? Did you take advantage of that? Or did you find out that I really don't like my spouse that much and I'm okay with missing you for a while? So you guys let us know. Drop into the chat, give us a like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. See you guys later.
Sad.